All right, thanks for joining us tonight, Coach. You've got John Marthaler, Jerry Zagoda, and Alejandro Romero on the call here. We'll get started with a question from John Marthaler. John, go ahead.
Coach, what happened tonight?
It's a good question. I think we played well in large portions of the game, without a shadow of a doubt. You've got a very disappointed dressing room in there because they know full well that irrespective of our circumstances, we've done enough, I would say, across large spells of the game to have won the game. Aside from uncharacteristic moments of poor defending that really don't represent the group that we are, and I think that's arguably the most disappointing thing, because I think our baseline is a very strong defensive team that typically doesn't make repeated mistakes as we've done tonight in that sense. I think I would have, if I was a betting man, I would have said we would have been a strong defensive team tonight, and if we were to have issues, it would have been more likely to be with how well we were able to use the ball and how consistently we were able to do that over 90 minutes. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it was the reverse. And we've come away having created a load of good chances, had some good spells of control in the game. I think being really impressive in that sense for periods, but we've conceded 5 goals and we come away a really disappointed group.
Jerry, go ahead.
Does there come just a time when there's a mental or physical fatigue when you're fighting uphill, shorthanded for so long?
Yeah, I mean, the temptation, of course, in this situation that we're in, given the number of absentees, is to feel sorry for ourselves. And I'm sure that seeps in somewhere, but we're doing everything we can within the group, amongst the players, the messages that are coming from all the staff, for that really not to be the case. We know, again, and tonight has proved that irrespective of what we have, the situation we find ourselves in, we're a group that can find a way to be competitive, and I felt we found a way to be competitive today without a shadow of a doubt. But I've just found ourselves wanting in moments of the game where we really couldn't be. So there's two sides to this, of course, because we have to focus on the positives. We have to be really constructive. We have to make sure that we, at the moment, are rolling from game to game, feeling as though each game is winnable, but we're sort of realistic about where we are. So I'm trying to balance that in the messages that I give to the players, and I'm sure the players are also having those types of conversations with themselves. So it's not an easy situation, but it's a nice challenge in a way, and we will only deal with it in the best way that we possibly can.
Alejandro?
Coach, good to talk to you. You just mentioned the absentees a while ago. It was kind of a surprise to not see Kevin Arriaga on the lineup nor the bench tonight. And considering it opens a door for speculation due to the transfer rumors around him, could you talk to us a bit about the reason of his absence?
I can only say that on his part, it's a personal issue that I can't really comment on beyond this. So yeah, we'd probably leave it at that.
John?
How much, if any, do you pin the defensive struggles on the goalkeeping tonight?
No, I wouldn't pin anything directly at Clint. I haven't admittedly spent time poring over the goals yet, so I'll probably reserve comment on that. I'm sure that question comes from somewhere, but certainly no glaring errors in my eyes at the moment. I think it was a collective at fault for the large portion of the goals. Obviously, you look at how the ball goes into the net, but we've given away big spaces that we typically wouldn't give away. We've really struggled in some individual moments where we based on the way that we try and defend, have to make really good decisions. We have to be really clean in our decision making and how we defend certain spaces, and that's not the case. I could very easily, and I'm sure the players have it in their mind when I talk to them about this sort of stuff, sort of rest into the fact that you've got a back line who has not spent a lot of time together. You've got players playing at a position, players that are sort of works in progress, I would say, relative to the positions they're playing at the moment. So there's some of that stuff that is inbuilt and expected. We've been maybe unfortunate on the scale tonight that where we've made mistakes, we've been punished. And that's why we find ourselves in the position that we're in tonight.
Jerry?
Do you see any hope in the short term with the personnel?
Yeah, I always see hope. I saw hope prior to this game, and I saw hope prior to the game at Seattle, because we've got a group that are very willing to throw themselves into a challenge. You've got a coaching staff that are largely very positive, very constructive, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that we roll from one game into another. And we look ourselves in the mirror hard after results like this, but we are also realistic. And I am absolutely adamant that we're onto a good thing here. We've proved that over a relatively long period of this season. And the biggest thing about this period that we're in now is that we remain very calm, very level. We come out of it on the other side with lessons learned, everyone better for it, and everything still intact, which I'm sure will be the case. And I think we've shown signs in both of the games this week where we have been very, very light-handed in terms of what we're able to do, where we're able to go in games. We've still shown positive signs, and that's the big thing, and that's what we have to cling to, and that's what we have to try and build on.
Time for one or two more, if there are any. Yeah, Jerry, go ahead.
How many goals do you think you could have or should have scored there early in the game when you guys seemed to control much of the play?
I think our XG was above the 3 mark, so we were probably on course for where we were, and obviously we had some good chances on top of that, but that's not where we've lost the game tonight. We've lost the game based on obviously the number of goals that we've conceded and the key instances that have led to those. So I'm, as I said, not too disappointed with how we used the ball and how purposeful we were around the edge of their box and what that led to. It's the other side of the game, unfortunately, where we've been found wanting today.
All right, last one, Alejandro, go for it. Oh, one more from John after Alejandro, then we're done.
Coach, you're very deep into the season, almost 20 games, and still you're sorry for that. And still you're a bit of a month away or shy away from that that break you'll have in the summer when league cups comes around, all that kind of stuff. What are the main concerns you've drawn from the team so far, especially after a game like tonight?
Yeah, I'm very sort of realistic, I suppose, about the situation we're in at the moment, in that it is pointless for me to draw huge conclusions from this period because, again, I don't want to repeatedly sort of lay the context on the table as an excuse, because that is not at all what I'm trying to do, nor is it the message that's going to the players. But I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel at the moment, because we're in a position where we have a huge number of players to return. We're approaching a transfer window, so I know, irrespective of whether we as a coaching staff did anything between now and then, there is real positivity coming our way. Our big battle at the moment is making sure that we are level-headed, stoic enough about the situation that we're in, and we really grind through this difficult period, and we learn a lot about what we can do, what we're capable of doing as this group of players, and it's I think in many senses it's a really nice chance to cultivate that mentality, which is positivity, realism, being pragmatic, and making sure that we look ourselves in the mirror after this game, as I've said, but we move on with the right conversations going on amongst players and in players' heads, because they're the only things that amount to good performances and us making the very best of this situation.
All right, John, I saw the hand go down. I assume you're all good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for tonight, and safe travels back home.
Thanks, guys. See
Thank you.